Another big story we are watching this morning, a blockbuster antitrust trial. It is underway right now that could change the face of your favorite social media sites. The Federal Trade Commission is accusing Meta of creating a monopoly and stifling competition by purchasing Instagram and WhatsApp. Meta says on their side the purchases were necessary to compete with other apps like TikTok and YouTube. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, he testified during day one of the trial yesterday. This trial could result in the company's breakup, and it is expected to last up to 2 months. For more on this, let's bring in attorney and law professor and author Karon. Danny, good morning. Thank you for being with us this morning. I want to start with this case in the fact that this has been years in the making. That's number one. How strong do you believe the government's case is in trying to convince a judge that there is a true monopoly here?
If the FTC is after you, it's not because they intend to lose. So I think Meta better have an exit strategy. Now, the FTC is after him for monopolization under Section 2 of the Sherman Antitrust Act, which means the government has to prove two things. One, that Meta monopolized the personal social networking market. We'll talk about that. And two, that alleged monopolization harmed competition. They're spending a lot of time, as they began yesterday with Mark Zuckerberg, talking about what is the market. What are we talking about here? The FTC says, hey, the market is the interactive social media market where you go back and forth. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Like my birthday was on Friday, and folks wish me happy birthday on Facebook. They didn't do it on TikTok because you can't do it on TikTok. Meta is saying, hey, the market is bigger. It includes TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, all this other stuff. And when you look at it that much bigger, we don't have the whole market. We just have this much. That's where the fight on monopolization is going to be.
Okay, so let's look at Meta's side on this then. So Meta said in a statement, quote, and I believe we have the statement, they say, quote, the FTC's lawsuit against Meta defies reality, ignoring the social media reality that Facebook has a constellation of competitors like YouTube and TikTok. So what's your reaction when you hear that? Is Meta simply trying to gobble up their competition instead of trying to compete with the competition? And do they have a point?
That's exactly my point. You're absolutely right. These monopolization cases are all about defining the relevant market. FTC wants to say it's really small, which means Meta has it all. And Meta wants to say it's really big, which means we have just a little bit of it. And if we have a little bit of it, we cannot have harmed anybody, because that's the second element of an antitrust claim. One is establishing the relevant market. Two is showing that by allegedly monopolizing it, you harmed competition. Meta is saying we could not have harmed anybody because there's so many options out there for advertisers. That's where the harm is. It's not consumer dollars, it's advertising dollars. We don't pay money to get on Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. Advertisers pay to advertise on it. They're paying more because of the lack of competition, which results in consumer prices going up. That's where the action is as it concerns harmed.
Okay, so very quickly, 10 seconds or less, people at home are wondering, okay, I hear all this, but what does it mean for me and my social media page? What can the average person expect out of this?
As a practical matter, I don't think it means much of anything,
okay,
because we're not the ones paying for it. Advertisers are.
Got it.
If the government wins and advertising prices come down, are we going to see lower consumer prices? Considering what's going on out there, I kind of doubt it. So as a practical matter, I don't think we're going to see much of anything.
All right. News that works for our viewers. Thank you so much, Karon. Good to see you.
You're so welcome. Always happy.
And happy belated birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Joe?